Greetings, football lovers. Greetings to Masandawana, Lona Mapagania. We are back with another installment of the Yellow Corner, bringing you the preview of the second leg here, the MTN 8 semi-final as Mamelodi Sundowns take on Orlando Pirates on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock at the Lucas Masterpieces Muripe Stadium. Sure, Habs.
Hola, Ezo.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks, Ezo.
No, all good, man. No complaints, man. But sadly, we are starting yet another preview on a sad note, man. After the passing of former Orlando Pirates, Black Aces, and Ajax Cape Town player Tandai Ndoro. Ndoro sadly lost his life on Tuesday. And yeah, man, we just want to pass on our deepest condolences to his family, friends, loved ones, and obviously former teammates, and say may his soul rest in peace, from Ona, the Yellow Corner and Masandawana as a whole, and I'm sure the football fraternity as a whole, man. And before we get into the preview, man, we can't start this preview by bigging up the legend of the club, PSL legend, Peter Shalulile, on equaling Siyabonga Nomvete's long-standing record of 129 goals in the PSL, man. That is no easy feat, That's a mean feat, And yeah, man, what better chance does he have than breaking it this coming weekend and taking us to the final, man? So the pressure is on you, Peter. Take us to the final and break that record, man. But I'm joking again. The pressure is on you, man. Big ups to Peter Shalile. Congratulations, man. And we hope that it won't be long before he breaks the record and becomes the main man, in terms of goal scoring in the PSL. Perhaps your thoughts on our victory against Magis?
Yeah, no, as I think against Magis, we saw a lot of changes within the lineup. Like you anticipated when we were shooting the preview, we saw some new faces. And what's more important is that giving these players chance at an early stage and also still doing well by collecting maximum points. As much as I think first half, man, we were not so great because of Magis had a lot of better chances compared to us. I think we could have got 2 goals because of the chances that they created and the danger that they posed to us, man. But second half, we were different and we started playing a little bit better, and we managed to get those 2 goals which came from Jaden Adams and Peter Shalule as well. And we spoke about the importance of our midfielders scoring goals. When I'm happy and I'm still continuing to be to emphasize the importance of our midfielders scoring goals. Man. So I'm glad that we were able to get positive results and keep a clean sheet. As much as the performance was not so great, but we need to take it into consideration that we made a lot of changes in this lineup, man. The lineup against Magis.
I know you must listen to me always. I get your teammate to change. Ke nna fang ka doto scheme ya dlala, yeah.
And also it was nice for Shalile to equal that record there non-vete as well, man. And when I was watching the press conference against Pirates, Bambota Kaka Shalule, man, and Caruso spoke more about Peter's professionalism, man, like how he showed up even in moments where he was not a regular, man, and he was not given a chance. Maybe he deserves, but one thing about Shalule, when he's given a chance, he will take it, man, and also he knows the importance of him doing well for the team. And I think it was nice to see Shalule again on the score sheet, man, because it has been a long time of someone on the score sheet.
Yeah, no, man. Like I said, big ups to Peter, man. Now I was not surprised that the performance more so in the first half. I didn't expect those guys to gel, because we made 10 changes, going into this game, and a lot of things put me off guard this game, man. Not to do with Sundowns or how we played or anything. There's just a lot of things like great results, perfect results. But that pitch annoyed me. That pitch was terrible. The bounce on that pitch, man, is terrible. It was one of those games that I just wanted us to score, and then the game, if I just couldn't wait for the game. And that MC at that stadium, man, who loved the sound of his voice, man, during the game, and maybe it's just me. I was just irritable. Wednesday during that game, But yeah, it was one of those games where you take the 3 points and you leave, and you move forward to the next game. Also, congratulations to young Khumulimo Kekana. We have two Khumulimo Kekanas in our team. On making his debut for Mamelodi Sundowns. It was not a good start getting booked in the first minute of the game, but he never went into hiding. He always showed up, and that's what I loved. And I understand why you are subbed because of that yellow card, but he will definitely get a chance. And I have no questions what this boy will excel. He's a top player, man. Perhaps was letting go of Neo Maema a wise decision? Because looking at his profile and looking at the profile of midfielders that we have at Sundowns, and the fact that we've not been that active in the market trying to get those players who are good in the final third or near to the opposition because you look at now Orezwan is injured, and creativity lacks smaller pay for Sundowns. I'm not saying Neo was one of those creative players, but he could pull up something very skillful and smart player who can make things happen in the final third year. Yes, Neo in the last 2 seasons hadn't been the same, but in hindsight, you look back at injury as one and all that, everything that's happening now. I think it might have been a mistake, because the situation here and Ribeiro as well. Because for me, playing Jaden near the opposition box, closer to the box around the zone 14 area, you're not gonna get the best out of Jaden there. I think you'd get more from Neo there than you would get from Jaden in those areas. So, hey man, looking back, I think it was a mistake, Even though I have to agree with Neo in the last 2 years hadn't been the same, but Neo's quality can never be questioned, and I'm sure he would have performed if given a chance right now, just like I said, oh no man, yeah, I'm rambling a lot. We need someone like him in those areas with Zwane out. Your thoughts?
And I think, man, I'm sad that like Neo left us, man. Like Neo, he has been a good player for us. Like we are saying, as much as in the past 2 seasons he hasn't featured much, but we know his qualities and we know what he can do on his day, man. And one thing about Neo is that he gave us variety in our midfield, man, because of we had a left-footed midfield, and also in certain games it was easy for us to attack, to use width from the midfielders using Neo, because of Neo can go wide on the left and deliver those crosses. But you look at the types of midfielders that we have, we almost have all our number eights or all our midfielders, they are right-footed, but at least Neo give us something in terms of how sometimes we wanted to play. And when we stand Neo, I thought that Neo will be a replacement for Zwan when Zwan is starting to age and he's starting to feature less in the team. And we can see that yes, Temazwan is still a good player, but it is tough for him to play 90 minutes these days, and him to play 90 minutes at the same standard and at the same level. But we need a guy who's young, has more energy, and also who has the ability to do well. As much as we can't compare him to Zwan, but Neo has his own abilities that Zwan, even Lena, doesn't have, man. So I think let him go off him, man. It is fair, more especially when we are not replacing players that we lost and also not beefing our squad, man. I think we could have kept him because of, even though he didn't feature much the Neo, but he still represented the initiating certain tournaments. So he still got some game time here and there, but letting him go, man, I think it was not a wise decision from the team, man.
Yeah, now looking at the situation right now, the transfer window closes in exactly a month's time, and if we don't move, we'll find ourselves in trouble, man. That team lacks creativity, man. It lacks a creativity, and I'm not saying because someone is gonna say Neo was not that creative, the most creative player. I agree, but Neo was very smart. He could make things happen in the final third. Get in between the lines. In the final third, and find that a pass. So yeah, man. What have you made of Orlando Pirates coach Abdesalam Odu so far, Raps?
I think so far, man, yes, they have not started well, man. But Pirates, I think they made a decision to appoint him early, and he was able to go to Spain with the team, and he was able to take the players that they signed for him to the preseason. I think that's one of the positives from the team as well as the coach, man. But in terms of how they have performed from the start of the season until now, man, I think the performance has been, I think, a little bit below average because of look at the points that they've accumulated so far. They've managed to get 3 points out of 9, and also on the MTN 8, they won one against Polokwane City and they drew against Sandals on the first leg. So I think in terms of the numbers and also the performance, I think they performed below average. But one thing about Pirates is that they have quality within their squad, and things can change around anytime, and because of the coach is still new and still trying to acclimatize to the culture and how he wants his team to play, man. I think now it is still early, but coaching a big team comes with the team huge responsibility in terms of getting positive results and taking the team even higher because of Jose Rivero has left big shoes to be filled. So I think with time, when it goes, I think maybe things will turn around, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Like I said, when I can't remember where was it here on Gold when I was talking about him, and I said he spoke a good game. Only time will tell whether he can translate that into the field of play. So we'll see, man. I think one of the things that he quickly learned is that he tried to do things his way, and quickly find out or he might lose the dressing room in so doing. He by me trying to sideline a lot of players who were regulars in the past from uh, Jose Rivero. Let's say Ribeiro when I talk about Rivero, So, yeah, man. Hence, he's starting to bring back a lot of these players that he hadn't been playing initially when he arrived at Pirates. So, only time will tell, man. I think it's too soon to judge him, But yeah, I think if we beat them tomorrow, we knock them out tomorrow, the pressure goes up again, So, yeah, what do you expect from this game, Raps?
I think, man, it's going to be a tough battle, and because of both of these teams want to win. Pirates, they want to defend their M108, and Thanos and as well as Kados wants to win his first domestic cup tournament for Mamelodi Sundowns. And in terms of Pirates, but I think they approach this game knowing very well they have to score, man. And the, 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 the the scoreline now on the aggregate, it is tricky, man, because of in the past,
Mm.
usually the teams that goes to the second leg with advantage, sometimes it plays in their head, and the team that doesn't have the advantage, sometimes they win the tie on aggregate because of they know the importance of having to score because of you look at Pirates now, they have to come out and get a goal because of without getting a goal, it is over for them. And Pirates, they have the experience of winning M108 when they've won it in the past and they've won it many times. So I think it is not going to be an easy game for us, and that experience might come in handy in this game because of it will be a big game that also requires a little bit of experience. And in terms of the performance of Orlando Pirates, man, we have seen them making a lot of changes on the back as well, and also not having CBC. They were forced to play with Siema, and that is a new partnership between Siema, sorry, and Mbokazi as well. And in some instances, we have seen them struggling a little bit because of look at the goals that they considered, most especially against Skukun as well as Gallants, man. They seem to be disorganized at the back, especially
Sorry,
when
sorry to interject, because if I don't, they will eat you in the comments. I think in the game, yeah, Galans le Skukuni, CBC definitely played because I remember him saying that ball didn't cross the line. So I think
oh, yeah,
Siema Limbogazi started the game, yeah, Galans.
yeah,
And then yeah, Sundowns. I think they've started those two games as a partnership.
yeah, no, I think their defense is a little bit shaky because of they seem to be organized and they struggle to clear the lines because of the goals that they conceded, man, more especially against Gallant and Skukune, man. The defense, they should have done better in terms of trying to clear those balls. And for Orlando Pirates, you spoke about the long balls and how they switch play very quick. And against Stelis, the first game, the first minute of the game, man, I saw Siema play a long ball, man. It shows the intention from the first minute of they want to get the ball behind the defense. And also in midfield, they also switch play from congested areas to areas whereby there's no pressure and they don't want to capitalize and launch attack from that side. And Orlando Pirates this season, man, they have a lot of skillful players that can perform individual brilliance, man. You look at Tito, he's one of the skillful guys they have within the team. They've signed Mbule, they have Apolis, and also there's a relay as well. So it shows that in terms of individual brilliance, they have a lot of players that can able to give them that on the pitch because of the skill that they have. But for Pirates, man, in the midfield, they need to do well and they need to have players that will help them to play when they don't have the ball. Because of, yes, Ntuli is a good midfielder, but he'll need assistance from whoever that is going to be to play in that position. If they are going to play Tito and Master Chef on the midfield, they need to improve in terms of playing well where they don't have the position because of, we know that Mbula on the ball is good, but when the team doesn't have the ball, I think he doesn't show up like he's supposed to. But for Mamelodi Sundowns, for us, we know we go into this game with an advantage, but we shouldn't let that play in our mind. We should go all out and win this game and be victorious and win the second leg. And in terms of how we'll approach this game, I think what I saw from Honwen in the towards the last minute of our Magisi game, whereby he played a beautiful ball to one of our attackers, man. I think we are going to see more of that because of Orlando Pirates. They are going to push a lot of numbers, searching for a goal. And I think at the back, there will be they won't have enough numbers. So I'm expecting Ronan, as soon as he has the ball, our attackers need to make runs and give him options so that we are able to get to the final third very quickly because of Ronan can be able to distribute that ball very well. And also, Ronan, like in our defense, we haven't been doing well, man. I think this game requires us to be a little bit solid. Look at against Magisi as well, as much as we play different players in defense, but we were a little bit shaky. And as well against Orlando Pirates, we made some errors at the back, man. And I think the ball that was played behind Lunga and also Grand Kekana making an error at the back where he nearly cost us. Mahopa nearly scored, but Ronan managed to save. So I think we need to be uh, solid in defense. And our midfield need to match the midfield of Orlando Pirates. And what I like about our midfield this season, they need to understand their responsibilities, man. They need to link the play from the defense and to the attack. And also, they need to be able to help the team in defense and when we are searching for a goal. And it's so nice to see our midfielders getting in the score sheet. Temsa scored in the game before Magesi, and Jaden Adams scored against Magesi. So it's so important to get our midfielders closer to the box and to get those goals. And Orlando's Pirates' threat will come from their wing play, man, because they have a speed in terms of eliminating our players or attacking the balls that are likely to be played behind our fullbacks. It will be very crucial for our fullbacks to position themselves very well so that when the ball is being played behind them, they have enough space to react and to try and clear the ball. And also our attackers as well, they need to understand their role in terms of the pressing. When the fullbacks of Orlando Pirates have the ball, they need to ensure that they try to pressure the center backs of Orlando Pirates and try to stop that long ball as soon as possible because of the more space and time you give to this center backs of Orlando Pirates, they will be able to uh, accurately play that ball where they want to. And I think in this game, man, Salis will be very important, man. I think in the first leg, he played so very well. He gave us options in attack, and also he was able to position himself very well, whereby he was able to give passes to other players in attack. And lastly, there was a moment in the first leg whereby we pressed Ntuli and we won the ball and we nearly scored. I think Reynas missed that chance. I think as soon as Ntuli fetches the ball facing in his own goals, I think we should try to win the ball and attack from there.
Sure, Raps. You've said a mouthful, and honestly, there's no need for me to add on because there are no. You've said a lot and very good points as always, man. But from my side, I think Pirates will try and be very offensive from the first whistle, because they know an away goal for them is key. And if they get that away goal, it will definitely open the game because now we'll be chasing and looking to get an equalizer, and it then opens the game. So yeah, I think they will try and get that away goal as early as possible. In their game against the Leeds, they made one change from the game where they dropped Tito for Apollos, but when it came to the formation or the setup, Relay moved to 10, and then Apollos moved to left forward, and then Smelebele was the right forward. I think that might be the lineup that they come with again, even though it quickly changed in that game after Van Rooyen got injured, and then Mbule came on and played in Relay's position, and then Relay it went to a different position. So I think that might be the setup that they had against the initial one might be their setup. We cannot be naive like we were in the first leg, and not drop back a few meters when their center backs have the ball, because they both can find their men. That but Siema over against Telis. Don't sit there, and expose them, so they are both very good with finding their men, so it's either we drop back and not allow the wide forwards or the fullbacks to get behind us, or we press the men on the ball and make it. We have to do one of the two. If we want to do both, we have to do one of the two because allowing them to do what they've been doing and excelling on so much, they will hit us again. I want Sundowns and they didn't listen in the first game. I would focus on our attack on our left and their right. I wouldn't play Divine Lunga. He was man of the match, deservedly so in the last game. But I wouldn't start him because when you start Lunga, you are saying to Pirates, okay, you can come at us because Divine is not so offensive, But I would rather have Basadin at left back. I would play Mudiba at left 8 in this game, and then Matthews as a left forward. That's a very offensive trio, And what do they say? They say to Sibelebele, if he thinks of going forward, he has to think twice. And now, if he doesn't go forward, you take that threat that he brings with away from Pirates. When Mbogas Yosiema have the ball, they look up, they want to switch to the right. Sibelebele is not there, So you defend with by attacking, So that is where I would focus our thingy, our attack on their right, our left, And they come into this game without Dino van Rooyen, who got injured. They have issues at right back. Mashilwani is not so good. I'd be surprised if the coach plays him, Now, do they now play Sibelebele at the right back, or they move him forward to right forward? It's going to be tricky for them on the right. So that's hence I'm saying we should focus our attack on that side, I wouldn't mind Jaden Adams starting, but if you're gonna start Jaden Adams in advanced areas, you are taking a lot away from him. Reynolds turns over possession for fun. He gives away the ball so cheaply. It's crazy, and it is one of his weaknesses, And I'm not gonna bash him for that. And it's really difficult to help him, like technically having him to improve at that age is going to be difficult. Rather make his job easy. Don't get Reynolds too involved in our play, in our build up and all that. He's going to turn over possession. Make sure you get him into situations where you make his job easy, where he's always in front of goal and facing opposition goal, and he can take the shots. I was listening to Mahood Mashir, yeah, in one of the podcasts. I think it's the Apex something podcast, and he said this thing of having the strikers to dropping deep, Basel Tinta, he said something along those lines, and I thought of Reina. So you getting him way too involved in play, he's gonna turn over possession. So make his job easy, man. Get him into the box and help him get the assist. Finally, Sipo Chain is 100% injured. He has an injury on his left shoulder. In each and every game that Pirates has played this season, he has gone down. Even when they were trailing, he's gone down to get assistance. Test him. Make him uncomfortable, make him work, and I like what Debsa did, Saturday. Shoot, go at him, push him, man, corners, set pieces, make him uncomfortable, man. So I really hope we do some of the things that we've spoken about. Perhaps we've gone for way too long. Your lineup.
You have changed my mind when you spoke about us being a threat on the left and trying to nullify the danger of Pirates on their right, man. So for the first time, I'll copy and paste your lineup, man. So I'll have Ronwen at the back. I'll have Zuko, Grant, and Cupido, as well as Basadin. Then on the midfield, 6, I'll have Tebza, and just in front of him, I'll have Allende as well as Mudiba. Then my front 3, I'll have Salis, Matthews. I'll start Peter, man. I'll go for Peter.
I wouldn't mind that. That at all. Either Peter or Reynolds, I wouldn't mind. So same lineup: Williams, Mdunyelwa, Cupido, Kekana, Basadin, Mukwena, Allende, Mudiba, Sales, Matthews, and Reynolds for me. Your score predictions?
We'll win 2-1.
I also think we will win 2-1. We are on the same note this season. Yeah, I think we'll win 2-1 and advance to the final. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. The next time you will see us will be next week, Monday. when we
Bye.
bring you the preview of our game against Kaizer Chiefs in the Betway Premiership. Until then, sharp Masandawana, sharp Raps.
Sharp, Aizo, sharp.